Hey guys, welcome back to Tip Top Sports. Today we are looking at part 2 of grading every NBA team so far. Let's jump right into it. Starting off, we have the Los Angeles Lakers and they get a C-. Breaking news, without LeBron James, the Lakers are not a good team. More at 11 a.m. On some level, the Los Angeles Lakers situation is really that simple. It's difficult to survive without one of the league's best players, even when he's not at his best. However, Russell Westbrook's ability to carry the team through LeBron-less stretches was the most compelling reason for his acquisition. He and Anthony Davis have failed to immunize Los Angeles against the prospect of life without number 6. When Russ and AD play on their own, the Lakers get trucked. It's debatable to what end that's on them. Russ's turnovers are a problem, and they should play more pick and rolls together. However, the Lakers' roster construction isn't working in their favor. DeAndre Jordan shrinks the floor without improving defense or rebounding performance. Rajon Rondo has disappointed. Note that Russ-AD lineups without LeBron still get nuked when the aforementioned two are removed. The Lakers aren't taking nearly enough three-pointers, and their efficiency from deep drops immensely after Carmelo Anthony. Talen Horton-Tucker has been impressive since resuming play following right thumb surgery. Malik Monk has a history of causing explosions. Beyond them, it's difficult to find active silver linings and Melo. And emphasizing LeBron's limited availability as well as the absences of Trevor Ariza and Kendrick Nunn has been a tired refrain. While playing one of the easiest schedules, the Lakers have been one of the least impressive teams. This really is a problem. Up next, we have the Memphis Grizzlies, and we give them a B. The Memphis Grizzlies' first impressions are bound to be mixed. The season began with a wide range of expectations for them. They spent the summer largely behaving like a win-later team, but their previous 2 postseason appearances suggested a punchy unit with staying power. Giving them a B is an attempt to balance competing standards. The Grizzlies are refusing to fade from the postseason race yet again. Ja Morant is transforming himself into a megastar thanks to his improved long-distance and mid-range shooting. Desmond Bane has the appearance and feel of a potentially offensive tentpole. Dillon Brooks has improved his shooting since returning from a fractured left wrist. Even when Jaren Jackson Jr. isn't raining fire, defenses still bend to his range. When looking at the overall defense, Memphis' performance is more difficult to reconcile. It ranks 29th in terms of points allowed per possession. Opponents are shooting an unfathomably low 40.5% from long range. Jackson is more capable in that regard, but he is not yet ready to anchor a defense from the 5. According to Unpredictable, the team has struggled to recover from turnovers and missed shots. For the time being, the Grizzlies are exactly where they should be. Flawed but tenacious, a team no one wants to play for, with an uncertain ceiling bearing a core roster change. Up next, we have the Miami Heat with an A-. So much for the Miami Heat being too old, not built for the regular season, or lacking depth beyond their top 6 players, for the time being. Miami has appeared to have completely stalled at times. Those lulls are only temporary. Despite a handful of absences from Bam Adebayo, Jimmy Butler, and Kyle Lowry, as well as Duncan Robinson's disturbingly human outside shooting, the Heat are vying for the East's best record. The Heat have more room for error thanks to their strong play at the top. Even when his 3-ball isn't finding nylon, Lowry is still a threat. Adebayo does everything except find his own shot. Butler is a top 5 MVP candidate so far, and his brute downhill force has been unaffected by the new laissez-faire officiating. Committing to any second chance opportunities has been beneficial to the Heat. They rank 5th in terms of offensive rebounding rate and 9th in terms of putback plays generated per friendly missed shot and boardable free throws. They are also deeper than expected. Up next, we have the Milwaukee Bucks, and they get a B-. Friends don't read too much into the Milwaukee Bucks this season until they can string together long stretches of near full-strength rotations. Sensationalists will seize the opportunity to dismiss the reigning champions' sluggish start. Save your deep thoughts for when Giannis Antetokounmpo, Jrue Holiday, and Chris Middleton have more than 5 tandem performances under their belts. Even then, we should hold off on delivering nuclear takes until Brooks Lopez returns. If you're feeling showy, pretend to be concerned about Bobby Portis' below-average 3-point percentage and Giannis' declining volume around the rim. However, BP's efficiency has recently improved and Giannis' impact has not been diminished by a slightly altered shot profile. Milwaukee, in fact, outscored opponents by a huge margin when he is missing Holiday, Middleton, and Lopez. Giannis' MVP case is self-evident. Do not compare him to Los Angeles' struggles without LeBron James. Giannis' ability to ferry an entire team dwarfs that of Anthony Davis and Russell Westbrook. Beyond him, the Bucks have plenty of feel-good storylines. Grayson Allen is sniping from all angles. Jordan Nwora's confidence is lofty, but he's breaking enough jump shots to put pressure on the rim. Both developments are significant for the current and future Bucks, who are a legitimate title contender regardless of their current record. Up next, we have the Minnesota Timberwolves, and they get a C. It already feels like the Minnesota Timberwolves have played 3 seasons in a row. They are perplexing, frustrated, and as a result, exhausting. Stingy defense to start the year has given way to collapse since the beginning of November, punctuated by poor rebounding and careless fouling. All of their medium and high volume 3-point shooters have regressed into obscurity. Karl Anthony Towns is the only player who attempts 2 or more triples per game and hits them at a rate higher than 34%. Wins such as their November 18th victory over the San Antonio Spurs indicate that the team is figuring it out. The offense is better balanced and less prone to errors. Unlike previous years, the West playoff picture provides some breathing room. Will the Wolves rediscover themselves, or will this be another case of postseason aspirations being postponed? The question itself is self-explanatory. Up next, we have the New Orleans Pelicans, and they get a D. Injuries can only do so much to mask the stench emanating from the New Orleans Pelicans. This season, Zion Williamson is yet to play. Brandon Ingram sat on the bench for a while. Injuries forced Herb Jones and Josh Hart to miss games. That's significant. Using a steep curve to grade their on-court performance does help, but not significant. Jonas Valanciunas has been the team's most consistent performer. None of this is encouraging enough to overcome bottom 5 offensive and defensive numbers. Nickeil Alexander-Rim Walker's finish is slightly better, but he has taken a step back. Kira Lewis Jr. is unimportant. Garrett Temple is making inroads against Najee Marshall and Trey Murphy III. Without context, dumping on the Pelicans offseason is disingenuous. Without Zion, keeping Lonzo Ball would not have improved rim pressure or off-the-dribble initiation. But they haven't used Thomas Satoransky nearly enough to justify treating him as a centerpiece of that trade. Along with Temple and the 2024 pick, the Pelicans require Zion. I understand. Without him, their product is still an indictment of their organizational process. Up next, we have the New York Knicks, and we give them a C-. Welcome to the world of high expectations, the New York Knicks. It's a slog out there. The starters' stifling play has kept the Knicks dangerously close to 500. No lineup has amassed more possessions than Kemba Walker, Evan Fournier, RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, and Mitchell Robinson. In this case, availability is not a skill. That team is being outscored by 17 points per 100 possessions, giving up a ton of three-pointers and struggling mightily in the half-court. Immanuel Quickley, Derrick Rose, Alec Burks, Obi Toppin, and Taj Gibson of New York have been its saviors. That is both enormous and unfavorable. With the starters, it has something to give. Perhaps by the time you read this, head coach Tom Thibodeau would have a much-needed change. Up next, we have the Philadelphia 76ers, and they get a B+. The Philadelphia 76ers have not had the luxury of roster-wide availability this season. As we all know, Ben Simmons has yet to suit up. His absence is only the beginning of the problem. With the top 2 offense, the Sixers are at least above 500. Everything hasn't always been rosy. During the injury carousel, the Phillies went on a 5-game losing streak. However, the others' ability to compete this season is all a testament to how well they have performed. Seth Curry is encased in a flame silhouette. Andre Drummond's play has slipped recently, but he's been a force. Before entering the league's health and safety protocols, Embiid was not playing at its usual level of dominance. The Sixers team is better than expected. Up next, we have the Phoenix Suns, and they get an A-. When the Phoenix Suns started the season off 1-3, hot take artists were no doubt salivating. Their ecstasy was fleeting. After a long-as-hell winning streak, Phoenix has reclaimed a spot near the top of the Western Conference. Chris Paul's defense has improved, and he has no concept of turnovers. Anyone whining about Devin Booker's scoring slump should stifle their laughter. He is still a master manipulator with underappreciated acceleration, and he's improved his playmaking. There are some nits to pick, as there always are. Johnson is not yet out of the woods. DeAndre Ayton is still an important part of the defense, but he needs to play better than replacement-level offense more consistently. Phoenix is still not built to put pressure on the rim or attack offensive glass. Whoop whoop, the Suns are coming off of an outstanding season. They are in excellent condition.
The Suns are great on both ends of the court, but I want to focus on their offense and how it's been so lethal. Phoenix is 3rd in points per game, 1st in field goal percentage, 7th in offensive rating, 4th in assist turnover ratio, and 4th in pace, so they pass basically every offensive metric. So what do they do that separates them from the rest of the NBA? Phoenix uses a variety of different sets and utilizes their players' skill set to their advantages. The Suns are great at every level offensively, in that they are 3rd in field goal percentage inside the paint, 5th in mid-range, and 8th from 3. Knowing this, they have counters for basically every defense you can throw at them. So in a classic pick and roll here, Barrett is going to go over the pick and the big is going to play drop coverage. This creates basically a wide open mid-range shot for Booker, and that's just way too easy.
Well guys, thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. Be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to Tip Top Sports, and ring that notification bell so you never miss a video. Thanks for watching.